I got a question. Oh, after you show all the stuff,
No, you're good. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, how do you guys feel like your collecting journey would have turned out without the social media aspect? If you never went on social media at all, and you never interacted with any of the community members, any of the shows, like any of the official company groups, where do you think like you would be today with your collection? Would you have collected as much? Would you have stopped a long time ago, but just have been happy with what you had? You're not necessarily seeing new pieces release, or maybe you just only ever see if new stuff comes out, you might see it on the website where you buy your stuff from. But how do you think it would have affected your collecting journey if you never engaged with the social media?
That changes everything, Buck, because for example, if you miss out on a piece, you might have a buddy that be like, "Hey, we heard you're looking for this," and they might help you track it down. Or let's say you didn't even know about the new Batgirl, for example, because you just don't go on Sideshow regularly. Now, next thing you know, it's sold out. But if you have, you know, other people like letting you know, like, hey, it's low stock, it's almost gone. Hey, even like shout out Jesse Hernandez, you may not know about certain rewards. Now you know about those perks. I think that changes everything, dude. If I think the community aspect is it makes it better. I think so.
Are there companies maybe you wouldn't even have discovered without social media that you buy from now?
Um, I wouldn't say the retailers for sure, like the like Collector Zone, Spec Fiction, uh, even people like Anton Wu who sell stuff like those entities. I don't think you would know if it weren't for the community aspect. And there's no knock to them entities. It's just how would you know unless somebody tells you? You know what I mean?
That's true.
So
John was
yeah.
gonna say something.
No, I was
Oh,
just to
Matt,
say
Matt,
social.
you're muted.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm sitting here talking. I'm muted. Sorry. Go
I'm
ahead, John.
sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
No,
Tell
social
me.
media has always been woven into it. Um, Depending on how in depth you're referring to social media, whether YouTube, you're including YouTube, because YouTube, you'll hear someone doing a review, they'll plug the company they bought it from, which would then cause you to go and look into it. But back when I started, it wasn't Facebook's, Instagrams, and all that. It was Statue Forum, and at the time it was called Sideshow
Collector
Freaks.
freaks. Oh, yeah, that was
Sideshow Freaks at the
collector
time,
freaks.
and it was just forums, man. And you just go and hang there, and it would be SDCC, and you'd wait for the people to upload the photos, and that was it was like Christmas. There was no Sideshow Con or no nothing. There was the walkthrough tours, and Sideshow would go, and then you'd have the people take photos and post them, and it was exciting. And that's how it was. Not necessarily communicating. You weren't even necessarily communicating with others. You could, but you never got to the level that you do now with YouTube, in the sense that, right, you know the actual person's name and so forth. It was just a handle people used. So I feel like with social media now, there's more of a personal connection. But I think it's always been woven into the 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 process of collecting. You'd spend more, that's for sure, because you wouldn't be getting deals.
And yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Matt was gonna say something.
the the social the Facebook groups, the buy sell trade stuff, just kind of like you walked into another store with that. Especially for me, the only thing I knew was eBay, right? Um, so that was kind of like my only thing there, and I just never really thought about. I just never thought about buy sell trade groups or. I mean, I wasn't a big social media guy. I mean, it just kind of wasn't my thing. I mean, I get kids and this and that and everything, so it wasn't really like I wouldn't go to social media for anything really.
I even know. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's just that. I mean, I think that social media has a huge impact on it. I mean, just on anything. Look at the advertising and the word of mouth. How many different people it reaches here, the hobby, the industry.
It's that feedback loop.
Yes, that feedback loop.
People's excitement feeding into each other. So like it's the hype to people. The way like excitement for the LBS Hulk 2 took off, right?
Yeah.
The interviews that Jay did on YouTube, and that how that pulled in on people that didn't might not have had as strong as of an interest, but like that pulled them in as well. Yeah, I think the same too for me. Back kid, I would have a lot fewer pieces. I don't think I would ever have stopped, but I don't even think I'd have gone this deep into quarter scales without like social media. Probably would have had maybe three, and I would have kept on collecting the other stuff I used to collect.
Now, do you say that because you wouldn't be interested in them, or you say that because you wouldn't have access to them?
It's not that I wouldn't be interested in. I think there's something about being in the groups that normalizes the insane prices that we pay. Because everyone else around us is doing it. If I was just interacting with my normal friends and I told them I spent $500 on a statue, that's a luxury purchase, right? That I wouldn't be like just doing multiple times every year. Now it's just normal, like because all of us do it. We just look, oh well, that's a sideshow piece. It's cheap. It's $700. I still got to pay tax and shipping, you know. But that's not cheap, But the thing is, to us, within this context, within the hobby, because we're hanging out with other crazy people like ourselves, and we're just seeing everyone talk about it. It seems normal. Whenever I tell my friends about this stuff, they like go, "Are you insane?"
Yeah, but it's all relative, right? It's all relative.
Yeah, it is, and I'm talking about that relativity. It's because we're hanging out with other crazy
Buck's been
people
holding
on
us in.
Facebook.
Yeah, but you want to hang out with those, right? At the end of the day, hold on. At the end of the day, it comes down to self-control, right? It's you put 4 bags of chips in front of you, you're gonna have maybe 1, 2 bags. You're not gonna eat all 4.
Yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, your friends may not spend in this hobby, but they'll spend in other ways. People spend in other luxuries. Hold on. People spend watches, shoes, traveling, eating out, going out to restaurants every week, clubbing. You go to a club, you drop $500 on a bottle of vodka. There's other ways people are spending. It's just not the way you're spending on statues.
I agree. I'm not even. It's not a criticism. My point is just that.
Of course, yeah.
I never would have seen myself spending the kind of money I spend on this as normal, if not for Facebook.
And it's your own fault. You say, "Hey, I need this," and then people start sending you the messages.
That's part of it. And I also want to ask, how do you think your perception of prices would have evolved without the social media as well? Because do you think? Because the thing is, you see a crazy price from maybe a Prime 1 piece, it goes up. You weren't on social media, and you're like, that's insane. And then you just close the page and you never think about it again, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But you hear that,
now
though.
You're just like, I'm not going to spend that kind of money. I'm not looking at Prime 1 pieces anymore. But do you think the fact that kids are on Facebook and social media just keep on seeing it, eventually just normalized? And it's like, you know what? I just do it. I'm just going to pay $1,500. And then 1,500 becomes the new baseline.
No, I don't think so.
And come on, man. I remember when.
Listen, if you're passionate for the hobby and you want to continue the hobby, then you're gonna have to be in that wheelhouse, or you choose a different company to get your collectibles from. If you're not happy with the direction that the company's going in, you're gonna choose a different, more affordable option. But I don't sit and listen to other people say. If anything, when you turn on a YouTube show, that's all everybody does is complain about the pricing. I'm out of the game. I can't do it anymore because of pricing at this point. So at that point, I would say if I'm turning on YouTube and listening to that, I would be detracted from making purchases from Prime 1 and XM because that's what you're hearing. You're hearing, these pieces are getting too expensive.
Those same places are the same places like, look at the new thing that just came out, guys. Isn't it fucking awesome? Like, okay.
But again, it all comes down to self-control. You can enjoy. I can look at a Lamborghini. I know I can't afford one, but you can enjoy from afar
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying, but a Lamborghini is completely different. You can't afford a Lamborghini, but you can afford the statue. It's just
Can I?
a really expensive piece. Okay, what for whatever reason, let's say like you're someone, there's a $5,000 statue, you use credit to buy it. You
Sure.
can't and if like that's out of your wheelhouse, right? And you can still use credit to buy. You can't use credit to buy a Lambo, no matter what kind of dreaming
Okay,
and
then let's
believing
bring it
you
to
like.
let's bring it a Rolex.
If it's
Oh
Let's
wow.
do a
if it's a
Rolex.
Rolex, I think
All right.
A
there's
Rolex
people.
good, man.
Even then, that's such a high price. Give me
Like
Ten
what?
Rolex,
thousand.
Give me a price
Rolex.
point.
I spent 4 grand on
Okay.
4 grand on Hulk. 10
Yes.
grand on a Rolex is not very far
Mhm.
off.
Okay. Let's think about all the statues some people buy in a year. 10 grand on a Rolex. It's very reasonable. It's very
Oh yeah.
reasonable.
Oh yeah.
Like and so I feel the kind of person that says I can't spend that much on a watch. It's if as a ratio from the to on the amount of the money it costs to buy that Rolex, or as a ratio compared to how much I earn in a year, it just doesn't really make sense, right? But if that person is hanging out in a bunch of Rolex groups every day, he's gonna convince himself, okay, I'm just gonna save up and I'm
Wow.
gonna buy it. And that's not to say that like it's not their choice. That it's
Yeah.
just the brain waves in the community
Yeah.
actually reaching out into their heads and manipulating them. That's what I'm saying. I'm
You're
just saying
exposing yourself to that
you're
environment.
constantly exposing yourself to this thing that you want, and instead of outright just saying no to it and cutting yourself from it, cutting yourself
Yeah.
off from the thing that you said no to, you're still going, yeah, no, but at the same time you're
You're
still
convincing
flashing the
yourself.
images. You're slowly
Well,
Of
conditioning
course.
yourself to
hey,
just go, fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyways. As
But I think
long as it,
Norman
yeah,
hit the
no,
nail on the head.
I
Yeah.
was getting ready to say that.
I think
Norman,
the poison is the payment plans.
yep, that's your
That's the
credit card.
poison.
That's your credit card. That's your.
Payment plans are poison
You become an
because
indentured servant.
wow, I can order this Prime One for $75 a month, or I can order this sideshow for $40 a month. But then it's like potato chips. One, okay, I'll get that one too because that's only 100. Three, and then by the time you pay everything off, you're like, what the hell did I just spend on all this
Right,
money?
right.
Blindsides you.
but do you
I can
think
get some. I
even
can get
with
some
the
sour cream
payment
and onion.
plans,
I can get some Doritos. I can get some
but the thing is, you
jalapenos.
guys,
Snap.
even with those payment
I'm getting
plans,
hungry.
don't
Yeah.
you think like there's just some things you go, nah, no way, no way. Even just because that price tag, there's so much sticker shock from the price tag. You say no way, I can't do that, and then you close the page, and you just like forget about it. It's no longer in your mind.
Yeah.
So
But the fact that it's constantly being exposed to you on social media, you're gonna like it because I'm at the same time, you can't forget the fact that you do want that piece. You just think that it's too expensive. So you can't ignore the fact that you already wanted the thing, but now you're constantly being exposed to it, right?
I agree with
Even though
Carl.
you've already said no.
well, a prime example of that was I remember when I had the Superman Hush, right? I remember when I had the Superman Hush was like a $900, and I saw Superman Hush for $900 and $100 shipping or something like that. And at the time, I was thinking, man, that's a lot for a statue, but it was more so it was the size of it, right? It was 42 inches tall. It's this and that. I'm like, what am I going to do with that? That's crazy. There's no way. And I made a decision on getting one or two of the other. It was the XM Dark Side that came out, right? And I think what swayed me to get the XM Dark Side over the Superman Hush was the ES. The ES was only 300 for Dark Side, and Superman Hush was 750. And I said to myself, well, there's more than twice as many Hushes out there. They'll always be there. And so I got Dark Side, and it came out. Look, which one's more desirable piece? For me, it's still Dark Side. But the Hush definitely shot up in value, shot up in rarity, and everything else.
Look at what Bad Kid Voodoo said, and also Cab. So I 100% agree with what Bad Kid Voodoo said, and that's what I'm trying to say. I like the way he articulated it, because like yeah, you surround it because we all know for a fact that there's an enabling force within the community. Being within this group of people, it propels us to like, buy the things, because at the same time it feels okay because we also see other people like us doing the same thing.
Of course,
It's
yeah.
normal. It's normal to us because we see people, like-minded folks like us, like they're doing the same thing. Versus, it might seem like an irresponsible decision if you were not hanging around people doing that same action. You know,
You think there's a level of competition for it as well?
100%,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
On the YouTube front, sure.
Even within
Really?
like even within
On a
Facebook,
YouTube
when
front?
people post their
Yeah,
stuff
I think it's more. I think it's more in Facebook than YouTube.
on Facebook, when people post
Then
their
again,
stuff,
I'm not a
there's
thousand
have you
thousand
seen?
subscriber YouTube guy.
Gotta
Oh
work on those
man,
shorts, man.
and
I
you
took
even
offense.
see, you,
No, but
even
I no,
see.
I meant that as a compliment. I meant that as a compliment.
But when you guys go on Facebook, you even see the posts where it's like, "What's your pre-order list?" And I think those are the posts that really, in a
Yeah.
way, those can get competitive. You can
Yeah.
see some people going, yeah, look at this, man. I can't believe I got 5 images and they're all multiple stacks of and rows of different statues I'm getting."
I'm not a fan of those posts.
I mean,
the pre-order
And I'm
posts.
not saying those are bad, but I'm
But-
saying there's a kind of like a dick measuring contest going on there. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I mean, like I get what Carl is saying. It's definitely competition. I don't care so much in terms of the first things, because I mean the way I look at it is it's first to me when I see it first time in hand. The YouTube thing is a little dicey. I mean, I'm one that, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen. I'll always congratulate, whoever, I mean, I'll be like, hey man, welcome to Club 1,000 or whatever, So just like I know somebody just said, Behringer just mentioned, like casual, like yeah, dude. As soon as he gets to 1,000, if not the first, one of the first to congratulate the milestone. But I actually had like a little. I don't want to say. This is just human nature. So we'll talk about like jealousy or envious or whatever. And I'm like, yo, casual, like you see these people like getting this many and getting this and this and this. And so we were talking about movies and stuff. We were talking about 300 with the Spartans and stuff like that. And it was basically saying, in short, I'd rather have these 300 loyal subscribers, these 300 people who really come here because they really want to have a good time, versus to have 15,000, for example. Because at 15,000, what are they really? I don't know any of them names. I don't, what I mean? I'm not getting 15,000 views, for example. And so that really changed like that thought process in mine, because my whole thing has always been to come on here and have fun. And that's why it's like, so for example, using John, if I were to get, let's just say February 1st, if I were to move to 1,200 subscribers on February 1st, but John were to move to, let's say, 12,000 on February 1st, I wouldn't feel any different. I would just feel like John moved to 12,000. But maybe it's a personality thing. I don't see any animosity, but that's just me. I can't speak for other people in channels. Though.
No, you shouldn't. You should.
I also want to say,
if
like,
you're friends with people, right?
Right.
If you're friends with people, you shouldn't, right? It's a family. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's one community, right? It's one community, and each show provides the community with a different perspective, a different form of entertainment. That's all it is. That's all it is. 12,000, 100,000, it doesn't matter.
Hey, people think it's Anchored Man with Channel 5, dude.
Yeah, everybody's different. People, the jokes here, the more serious here. Everybody offers it different, but the core is still the friendship. Who gives their subscribers, man? YouTube's validity with subscribers now is in the faucet. It's in the faucet because of these shorts. Everybody and their grandmother starts posting shorts, and you go from 0 to 1,000 in a couple months. So you build a community, but there's no. I think if we talk about YouTube, the most important thing about YouTube is being genuine to yourself, your opinions, and sharing your thoughts and how you feel about things, because that's what people are tuning in for. Not that your thoughts are the same as someone else's thoughts, because if someone else is doing the show, then I don't need to watch your show because your thoughts are the same. Staying genuine to yourself and your production value is, I think, what's important
I
on
would
YouTube.
also add, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with people on YouTube feeling competitive towards each other, you know, because a lot of people too, YouTubers, this is like more than just hanging out with friends. It's a business.
For
Um,
sure.
they can make money from it, real money, money that could sustain like your livelihood and your family. And it's not necessarily about just like having fun for some people.
Do you think
So I
there's
can
something
under
wrong with
I
that?
no, of course not. I think, it's like a job. And if
Yeah,
especially if your goal is to use YouTube to replace your day job and you take it that seriously, I don't even see a problem at all with it. Like, yeah, because if that's what you want to use to earn your money and like that to make your living, then yeah, go ahead. Um, also point out what Carl said. Who has the harder polystone? I do, of course, but
I think that's resin back there. Anyways,
you got
Yeah, I'm not
PVC.
sure what that's supposed to
I
do.
see that Detective Comics 1000.
yeah, back there somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, that's PVC right there, John. I don't think you got the harder polystone,
Oh,
so
yeah, honestly, you haven't seen anything yet.
I don't want.
Wow. Wow.
Oh man.
But yeah, that's, I don't know, it's tough, man.
Yeah.
I think Cash, what you said, everybody should just be happy for one another. And
Yeah, man. I mean,
I think everybody should be happy for one another. And I think the biggest thing with YouTube is be
Kumbaya.
careful what you say, because I think the worst
but
thing you
yeah.
could do, on YouTube, is be a hypocrite. If you say something and you don't stick to those words and follow through with it, and you change is fine, but you completely just you just completely, what you fought for and what you stuck for and what you said, you just let go, and like it had no meaning or anything, and completely just 360. And it's like, once you become a hypocrite, I think that's past the point of where I feel to be, I don't feel to be like I want to be involved.
Moral of the story: don't commit fake house fires.
Wow. Yeah.
We're watching you, Ohio. We're watching.
Oh wow, Ohio. Jarhead and I agree. Jarhead and I agree that we don't care about subscribers and likes. No knock to those who do, but our goal is to simply provide a space for discussion for now. Yeah, no doubt, man. I think everybody has different goals and stuff, but I will say this: I do like the custom outlet that you're trying to, or that not trying to, since it's already started, but that you guys have started up. So I think that's pretty cool, and don't mind the empty cup, but cheers to much success, man. Cheers for sure.
D3, it's not cool until you help me
My cup-
acquire
my cup ain't
the
empty.
custom statues I'm looking for.
Oh wow.
Until
cup's
that
not
happens, I don't believe in your movement.
May it
Moscow Mule?
overflow. May it overflow.
May
with
it-
dust.
Let the cup overflow.
Oh man, that's funny.